Hey everybody, and welcome to another day of Pulsechain, Pulse Gains, and man, we've got some really good stuff happening across the board. We really are at the beginning of what it looks like of a bull run, whether it's a mini bull run or a full-on bull run. Time will tell, but very optimistic, of course, with BlackRock, Galaxy, and many others, BTC ETFs coming ahead of us, Bitcoin halving, and of course potentially stuff around Ethereum proto-dank sharding. And of course, further upgrades and features on Pulsechain and PulseX. Very, very exciting. And of course, over 180 projects to launch on Pulsechain. It doesn't get much better than that. And yeah, you guys are here early, which is pretty cool. The timing couldn't be more perfect, is what we would say. Let's see who's in the house. We've got a few people here. We've got Joey Torres. Hello, hi all. Good to see you, Joey. We've got Crypto Dan as well. Hi, guys. Good to see you, Crypto Dan. Welcome to the chat. We got Hexcavator. Hey. We're just talking to Hexcavator in the chat there, in the Discord. So big shout out to Hexcavator. We got Pulsedemic as well. Wow, finally caught a live stream again. Yeah, it's been a while, Pulsedemic. Locking in my validator this weekend. Finally excited. That's awesome. Wow. Yeah, we've been breaking new all-time highs with the validators. Look forward to that. Going to 50K, I think we're heading towards 50K. And of course, what day are we going to be talking about today? We've got day results for day 171 for Pulsechain. So that's what we're going to be covering, today's results, as well as 9inch. We're going to be covering 9inch, what it has really hit Pulsechain with the storm, and Ethereum as well. A dual launch on 2 chains. And of course, we're going to talk about GDZen as well. Also doing incredible in the PZen space on Pulsechain. And of course, Beetroot as well. Our privacy hub also doing mega burns of their tokens. And of course, offering cool utilities and great tokenomics. So we'll talk about that later too. We've got Prayrock in the house there. Hi, good to see you as well. Good to see you in the chat there. It's nice to see quite a few new names been jumping in the chat last week as well. Definitely people are coming out of the woodwork. The markets are moving and people are getting excited. We can see it. Andrew Reynolds. Hi, morning everybody. Good to see Andrew. Exponential Gains. That's such a cool name, isn't it? Exponential Gains. Hey, yo, Hexkins. Good to see you in the house. We love that name too. This is Hex Token channel after all. We are, Maxi Richard Hart channel. Although we like to talk about everything. We are documenting Pulsechain, its rollout, and all the projects as much as we can. Surely Fortress in here. You're the man. I appreciate that, and so are you. Community plays a huge role, so big shout out to you as well, Surely Fortress. Brennan's in house as well. A TA expert from Discord. Howdy, folks. And yeah, he does paid advice. If you want to catch him up, he's a paid service. I'm just kidding. All right, good to see you, Brendan. Welcome to the chat there. Brendan's going, oh, no, I'm a paid service. I did it this too. All right, let's get on to it. We've got some cool stuff happening in the charts as we speak the live stream. So it's going to be really cool. Let's get into it. We're going to start with stock market quickly, the Federal Reserve quickly, and then we're going to move into crypto generally, Bitcoin, all the good stuff, and then we're going to get into Richard Hart, Pulsechain, and then, of course, 9inch, GDZen, and Beetroot. We're going to talk about all those. And then finally, we're going to wrap up and get paid with our Hex CDN miner and get the results from that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a few more people in the chat, so I'll just quickly say hello. Tail7, Monster Bounce coming from BBC. Looking forward to that, Tail7. We're going to talk about that too. Trenan as well. Hi, everybody. Good to see you, Trenan. Welcome to the chat there. And, of course, if you are new to the channel, if you're on Superman Crypto, if you're on Hex Token YouTube or Pulsechain, we're streaming to 3 channels on YouTube and over 10,000 subscribers. If you are new, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and hit the like for future videos. We're covering Pulsechain virtually every day. And, of course, we're documenting it so you get to see early on all the projects, get all the intel, and get your summary in this video. Generally, you'll have a good idea what's going on. And what else are we going to say? Yeah, hit the Discord links in the video description. 16 cents a day. It's pretty cheap. And a big shout out to all our new members. Very, very cool indeed. And we're going to get onto it. All right. Let us go back in the chat here. Bam. There we go. I'm going to pull up the screen. Let's make sure we start in the right place. And bam. There we go. All right, we've got stock market Dow racks up, swashbuckling gains as big tech shows strength. So good news all around. We want good markets. You know, obviously Bitcoin and cryptos and stuff like that, and stock markets can move differently. There's correlations. There seems to be a bit of decorrelation happening at times as well. But a good day in the stock market's got to be good generally. We've had last week, we had quite a few pullbacks last week, remember, on the stock market. So let's get to it. Dow Jones is up 1.6%. So really, really nice recovery there. 511 points up to 33,000 almost. S&P 500 is up 1.2%, 50 points to 4,166. Remember, fund manager Tom Lee is estimating 4,800 by the end of the year, a Christmas rally pretty much. And of course, we want that too, right? We want that in crypto. We've kind of been sitting back while the stock market had been having a pretty good time, apart from the occasional down weeks. And of course, we're wanting to follow that up too. NASDAQ there is up 1.16%, 146 points to 12,789. Excuse me. That's pretty amazing results on the stock market day, opening up for the week to the Monday, which is pretty exciting. So it sets a good tone for the rest of the week, folks, for crypto. Dollar is down 105.95 versus its trading partners, down 0.4%. Let's go to the commodities, have a quick look at that. Let's see where we are. We got West Texas is at $82.67, pretty flat there. Brent oil there is at $86.62 as well. And let's have a quick look at the monthly on the oil. We can see it's kind of been quite volatile, and it's at least we're down from the highs of $93, currently around about $82, $86. So there we go. Gold is over 2,000, pretty flat at the moment, but over 2,000, pretty positive. As you guys know, a lot of people are thinking $3,000 for gold. We will see. And silver is $23.43. And of course, really for silver, I think we're waiting for the pivot in the interest rates, which may be mid next year is my guess. So we will see how we go there, $23.43. But of course, some people are calling for a 5x potential return on silver if the interest rates do pivot in the future. But I think that's also going to depend on how aggressive as well they do pivot. So let's get to the update here. We got around Treasury yields. Treasury yields ahead of refinancing announcement and Fed meeting. Treasury yields rose on Monday as investors awaited the Treasury refunding announcement due Wednesday, which details its plans for note and bond sales. So it's very important there. That's on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. The recent sell-off in Treasuries that has pushed yields to multi-year highs has been partly attributed to some of the increase in the supply of Treasuries. Ahead of the announcement, the Treasury Department lowered its net borrowing estimate for the October to December quarter to $776 trillion from $852 billion. I don't know if that's, I think they meant billion there. Amount, and it had forecast in late July, as well as the refinance announcement. The Federal Reserve's interest rate decision on Wednesday will also draw close attention amid expectations there. So we've got two changes there. We've got the Treasury, and of course we've got the upcoming Fed announcement. So let's go to that quickly on the Fed rate monitor, and let's check that out. So 1 day and 18 hours to go and 21 minutes until the next Fed meeting, 1st November at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And hopefully you got that in the calendar. We're expecting a no change in the federal funds rate. In other words, to remain at 5.5%. And we got that's at 98.7% of the market agrees. So that's kind of where we are at this stage. Looking for the December meeting, which is the final one of the year, we only have 25% of people expecting it to go up 25 basis points to 5.75. But I think obviously there's a market saying there, more probable that the market is expecting a no change as well, which would be super bullish, right? So good results, expecting no impact really on the markets. Stock market, of course, can do some silly things, but for crypto, this is a good environment. So kind of neat there. That's on the federal fund. So not far away. 1 day and 18 hours to go to that on a Wednesday there. Let's jump over to crypto. BTC at $34,507, and of course the dominance there at 52%. We're down 0.75% on Bitcoin, but Ethereum manages to make a 0.25% gain at the moment, $1,811. We are waiting really for the out season. I think if we get another big giant move in BTC, which is probably going to, I reckon the market makers are trying to make the RSI just cool off at the moment before we get another strong move up into the 40s. That's probably the case there. And 37.5, 38.5 is probably another nice move up. But I just have a feeling, may not be right, but I just have a feeling they're going to try and bust it all the way into the 40s and really get this fire cooking. So let's see if that does come out to be true. But at the moment, 37.5, 38 would be a nice little move up. But let's see if they try to power move this thing, because remember the Bitcoin ETF thing is in the front of us, and these guys may try to make the markets, look really, really good there. And they're going to maybe try and buy a lot of Bitcoin for their customers early on, right? And you guys know we talked about the price target of 150K, 180K on the back of the Bitcoin ETFs, and of course the Bitcoin halving in April next year. So we'll talk more about that. Anyway, the standouts today at the moment is Solana is up 5.3% at $34. That's kind of the standout there. BNB is currently pretty flat at 228. So that's kind of the markets there. XRP is actually up 3%, 57 as well. That's kind of the bigger ones there. So let's move into Bitcoin, have a look a bit more at that, because this is our window of opportunity. We've been mapping out everything. As you guys know, it's really useful to map out stuff. Gives you a bit of idea of how things are going. So let's just make this come in a bit here so I can get all the stuff out. April next year is, of course, what I'm trying to get to. Let me see. All right, so let's see if I can stretch it out a little bit there. So that is our map at the moment. So we've got our window of opportunity in at the moment. Looks pretty good. Fed meeting, good. New Speaker of the House, good. Tick, tick, tick. This is what we want. We've got one little thing in ahead of us, perhaps. The budget stopgap ends on the 17th of November. However, you guys heard Mike Johnson yesterday. I played him, the Speaker of the House, who I'm really a big fan of. I think he's going to be great. And, yeah, he's going to tidy things up, do the government the way government should be done. None of this politicalizing and, politicizing stuff like that. So it's looking really positive. So, yeah, we'll see how we get on. They may do another extension, a continuation. We will see. And if they do, he's talked about the 17th of January for that continuation. So that is pretty much that is in here. So potentially continuation to here, which will be fine. Happy with that as long as they get the single bills done, and then of course get a proper budget up with potentially just some at least some minor pullbacks on expenditure. Obviously, with that big debt in mind that the US has got $33.5 trillion, which they have to deal with, right? You can't just keep pushing it off. So that is an issue there. All right, so that's looking pretty good. I think we'll move through that quite nicely. And then we've got the Bitcoin ETF potentially approved. Galaxy talking about potentially before the end of the year, 15th of December. That's where we've got it. And super bullish, right? Big capital can flow there. I know some people think that sell the news, and that we'll probably will have a bit of that. But I suggest to you that a lot of capital will start ramping up through those ETFs into Bitcoin, and of course a flow into the altcoins as well. So really, really exciting there to see that. And our Fed meeting. So our Fed meetings, no changes. We're expecting good news around the speaker. Budget's probably going to be a non-event. We'll probably get it extended to January. And of course, Bitcoin ETFs, man, that is the bull run. That would be very exciting indeed. And we may have a bit of a dip after the announcement for, typical sell the news, but then up and away after that is probably going to look pretty good. And that 150K target on Bitcoin's back is there. And of course, then we got the Bitcoin halving April the 17th, and more good news for Bitcoin, and maybe a little bit of a sell-off there at the back end, and then up and away. Bitcoin's looking pretty good. Remember, Bitcoin halving moves the block reward down to 3.25 from 6.5, so I think that's going to be bullish as well. Remember, also BlackRock and entities like that, not only are they doing Bitcoin ETFs and bring on their big customers, we're talking about the biggest capital markets flowing into crypto. This is as big as it gets. Apart from state governments, we've got a couple of those, but apart from that, that is really the biggest news. And of course, then we've got the Bitcoin halving as well. So we've got the demand side with the Bitcoin ETF. So we've got more demand by X factor, potentially trillions of impact to compare to Bitcoin halving, which is supply reduction of future supply. So it really is a win-win there for crypto. And of course, you got BlackRock talking about a shift to quality. So we're going to play that again because it's always good to get an idea of the biggest fund manager in the world, BlackRock, here talking about a shift to quality, a completely different categorization of crypto. Unbelievable.
Clients around the world about the need for crypto. I mean, when you think about, I think some of this rally is way beyond the rumor. I think the rally today is about a flight to quality with all the, all the issues around the Israeli war now, global terrorism. And I think there's more people running into a flight to quality, whether that is in treasuries, gold, or crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality.
So super bullish, folks, super bullish, and that's our horizon. So that's our big map. That's the big picture. Let's move on and let's get into Richard Hart and Pulsechain. So here we are. Richard Hart's tweeted this out earlier today, and of course, this is a cool update relevant to our crypto. Bitcoin, guess which top 10 buy on chain volume protocol is least known by the hasn't bought yet public. I don't know who wrote this, but it's market cap barely ranked in coin ranking sites. It's volume barely ranked by DeFi ranking sites. It's operation perfect since launch. It's a trick question. There's more than one in the picture. Your Explorer probably has ads. It doesn't. Your coins validation is probably more centralized. It isn't. Your websites probably keep logs and use analytics or telemetry and a fingerprint for your browser, but this one protects your privacy instead. On pump days, this one probably outpumps your coin. It has a vibrant, dedicated ride or die community. That's you guys out there, founded by a man proven right over and over and over again. That's the Richard Hart, the founder of Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex. A man fighting for your rights, a man who wants to make you free. And of course, he is also fighting on the rights front. And of course, he is leading the DeFi revolution to make people free. And so that's kind of bullish. So that was put out by Richard a little earlier today. And of course, 64,000 views on that so far. So big shout out to Richard Hart. And I thought we'd read that to him today. That leads us into the results for day 171. We've got Pulsechain at quadruple 0581 at the moment, up 8%. So nice little gain on there. We're 58% of sacrifice price at the moment. PulseX is at quadruple 0165, up 9.74%, almost 10%. And of course, that's currently at 16.5% of sacrifice price, so the mean sacrifice price. So a long way to go there as well. But Pulse will get you 3.51 PulseX there. So pretty similar to yesterday, around 3.5. The buy and burn continues to impress. There's at 527.3 billion PulseX, and that is, more importantly, 2.56% of the public supply. Remember, we consider the origin account supply as inactive, and so we really only care about the public supply percentage, and that's looking super bullish. Now, the other thing, of course, incentive token is up 4% at the moment, $1.05. The ratio is at 18,156 pulse per one incentive, and of course, that's coming out of the PulseX farms. The other thing, of course, is we just hit 15 million yesterday, I believe it was, on the incentive supply. And they have been emitted, created from the farms on PulseX. The buy and burn through the TRH protocol is at 112,215. And on that note about TRH is that it looks like TYCZ is going to be very different from TRH and potentially taking on Binance, and to some degree. It's going to be very fascinating. So keep a lookout for TYCZ and Jacob and the PulseBot BNB bot team. They look like they will be doing something spectacular with that. The lobby is still open at the moment. Hit me up in Discord if you want to talk more about that and maybe get a 5% bonus deal. Now, the other thing, of course, that has been delayed. The launch of that has been delayed till the beginning of next year, New Year's. So it looks like it could be a big New Year's surprise from TYCZ. And the cool thing about that, I think it's going to be quite something epic. And launching in a bull market, a rising market into bull market territory, it is going to be pretty something else. So stay tuned for that. Now, Hex, of course, is at 1.4 cents per Hex. That is up 14.2%. You can't keep a good thing down. Hex is looking like a boss. In fact, I was going to bring up a tweet on that, and I probably will. We've got that looking spectacular. EHEX is at 0.092, heading back to 1 cent, and that's a nice rise as well. The combined price of EHEX and PHEX is at 2.31 cents, looking very good. 1 PHEX, we get 241 pulse at the moment, and 1 PHEX, we get 1.5 EHEX, which is pretty similar to yesterday from what I can see. So let's jump over to the charts and have a look at that. For day 171, this is the chart on the 4-hourly. Let's go to the daily on Pulsechain. That is the Pulsechain daily there. Let me get rid of those. And that is the Pulsechain. So we've had a nice bounce off the 50 mark there. And if we get the Fibonacci, let's pull that up as well. I thought I had one on here, but we'll do that. Fibonacci here. We can see that we pretty much we punched through the 61.8, but we did bounce off the 50 Fibonacci there, and looking very good indeed on this one. So let's delete that. And yeah, really looking really nice. We got up to a high of quadruple 06 today, which is nice. And this is looking really nice for a nice move up, especially if we get Bitcoin on another rally as well. But in any case, a Pulsechain is moving up, so kind of cool. Pulsechain is up here as well, bounced off the 50 moving average there on the Bollinger Bands, and we have had a pretty good day as well. Up at quadruple 017 is the high, currently at quadruple 0165. We've talked about PHEX, which is really looking pretty good. This is the hourly on PHEX. Look at it staircasing up on PHEX, looking really nice. But let's go to the daily and let's bring up the RSI there as well. Before we do the RSI, we can see that we bounced exactly on 61.8. And I put a post out on X social platform yesterday, and it had a lot of views. People got excited about that because it is really nice form here. This is looking very good on PX. PX is looking exciting. That's all I'm going to say. You heard it here first. Exciting. Yeah, all right. Let's keep it cool. Let's keep calm here. But Hex is looking like a boss. And yeah, we're going to bring up that something. Actually, let's go. Let me just hide the screen for a moment. I want to pick something up here. So I was going to load it up, but I forgot to do it. So let's go hunt it down and find it first before I do the reveal. Let's do the reveal here. Let's scroll back down. I've got to go downtown. All right. There we go. Bam. All right. Let's add that back in. Bam. There we go. There's the poll I put out yesterday. Fun poll. Let's say you got $10,000 to spend. Which one would you buy for the bull run? And we got obviously from the oldest to the newest. So Satoshi Bitcoin. What's that? 2009. What's that? 14 years old, is it? 1.7% is said that they would get Satoshi. They would spend the $10,000 on Satoshi Bitcoin. Richard Hart Hex, of course. 80.6% voted for that. Now, obviously, this Hex token, so it's got a lot of Hex followers on there, but pretty interesting across the board there. Jack Levin, of course, what's he? Google employee number 21, something like that. 6.9% voting for Zen there, and of course, then finally the latest one that's just launched, Jake Sharp there, Titan X, and of course that's supposed to be some sort of upgraded hybrid of all of the above, pretty much. And of course, that's 10.8%. has voted for the Titanic X there. So pretty interesting results. But of course, that 80.6% on Richard Hart got to be the standout there. And that's the 232 votes. So I thought I'd pull that up. That was a bit of fun. It's always a bit of fun there and looking good. All right. So very cool there. We've got EHEX at the moment. EHEX is also looking pretty good there. We had quite a bit different looking chart on the daily. We had three support lines here. Look at this, model support lines at 7,400 there out of it. So 7,400 for a penny. And we managed to have a higher defend there after having that huge rally. We bounced off pretty much the 50 on the Fibonacci, so really strong there on the EHEX and looking pretty good at the moment. And of course, at this price, at 9,300 of a penny, you can see that we're actually above the SEC price back here on the 31st of July, which was at 8,600 of a penny. So looking really, really good on EHEXs there. All right, so that is kind of cool. Looking at the combined price of EHEX and PX is currently at 2.3 cents here on the hourly chart here on InvestX.io and looking like a boss. And of course, back here, remember, we got up 3 cents back up here, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty much it for the markets. Let's for the Richard Hart stuff, we're going to get on to 9-inch next. Before we do that, though, we're going to hit up in the chat and we're going to talk about validators first. Let's look at the validator numbers. We're up to all-time highs here, 48,619 validators that are validating Pulsechain. Pulsechain is the people's chain. It is run by the people for the people. And here we go. That's pretty good. It sounds like the US Constitution, doesn't it? All right, so we've got 1.56 trillion of Pulse is actually staked with the validators off the market. So that's over 10%. I think it's like 10.04%, something like that. And of course, we're waiting for liquid loans to come up like a boss and take even more Pulse off the market as well, taking that supply off the market. And then, of course, getting more demand coming in over time. That is what gets prices really excited. And so we're looking forward to that, especially when the bull market kicks in. We could see some pretty fast X returns on there. Not financial advice, but plain probability. We've got the gas prices there at 562,000 at the moment, so kind of on the lower side at the moment. 1 cent for a Pulse X swap, 700th of a penny for a Pulse coin transfer, and 2/10 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. We're currently 1,437 times cheaper than Ethereum, and Ethereum has definitely gone up in the gas prices. $14 to do a swap now on the fake DeFi Uniswap, and of course 631 times to do a cheaper than on Bitcoin. So really, really good place to do business on Pulsechain. It's superior in every way from that point of view. Really is crazy. Let's go to ultrasound money and have a look at the GWEI. history at the moment on Ethereum. And let's quickly have a look at that. This is the last 7 days, so you can see the gas is really rising now, back up into the teens. So very excited to see that. And the lows are higher. So we've got higher lows in the grape. Remember, we had 5 gwei, stuff like that, and they kept going for like 2 weeks longer than last year. But we're now finally getting the higher gwei now and signaling, early excitement there in the pre-run up for a bull market territory. Looking at the 365 or 410 days, you can see the gas is starting to rise now, just like it did, but maybe 2 weeks delay it did last year. So kind of in, where are we up here? In this territory here is the comparison last year. So we're in the teens, so kind of cool. All right, that's pretty much it for that. We're going to get back into the chat, and then we're going to get into 9-inch DEX, which has caused a lot of fun and excitement. We're going to be talking about Titan X as well today, actually. We're not going to miss out on that because there's some things to say about that. Let's see who else has jumped in here. Let's see how far back I have to go. Does BC a compound? I'm not aware that it does, Tony D. I don't believe so. I think you can compound it yourself. I know there's an auto compound calculator, but I know that they had some. They were fixing that up. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. We'll get back to you on that one. Brennan says it's only a paid subscription for Wiki. It says it went to Brennan. I'm not sure what that's about. We've got Sandy Beach in the house there. Hello, Hex Token, everybody. Good to see Sandy Beach. And then, of course, there is her health and fitness post today. So if you want to make sure you enjoy your crypto, keep your health and fitness up, get some walks or swims or something, and follow Sandy Beach for good inspiration around that. Wookie says PLD has started to pump. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about that. Max out like socials viral time, says Surely Fortress. Kev Machine in House, they called it, said people needed to pay more attention to the east side of 9-inch, and boom. Well done there, Kev. We're going to look at that too. Now I'm wondering about the BBC for the east side of 9-inch. It's sitting at like 30 cents, super cheap, eh? Yeah, maybe people will put that in the put some of that in the old single side staking. We got Brian in house as well. What's up, folks? Good to see you, Brian, our community leader. Brian's amazing, does an amazing job. So big shout out to Brian. He's on board well over 100 people, maybe 150 by now. He's an incredible person there. So if you haven't gotten to our Discord, you want to be in the best place, man. We got all the projects, all the early intel. We got multiple people posting information. You will not miss a beat. And of course, most importantly, we've got the best community. We've got audio chats and video chats, lots of cool stuff there. Some people play games as well. It really is a cool place. And the Discord link is in the video description if you want to join. So definitely join up. 16 cents a day. It's pretty good value as we share the Pulsechain journey. Spike's in there as well. What's up, folks? Good to see you, Spike. Andrew says, was reading U.S. government wants to borrow, 0.7 trillion USD from the Fed. Yes, that means it's printed into existence. Yeah, and we're going to have that with liquid loans and Power City. We're going to have money printed into existence inside Pulsechain, and it's going to help pump Pulsechain. So you like what I did there? That was pretty good. Let's jump through some of this. Exponential Gains says hi to everybody. Christian in the house there. Yo. Good to see you, Christian. Welcome to the chat there. Sandy Beach excited about TRH. Yeah, there's some cool things happening in that space too. Archie's giving a lot of intel in the Discord about the TRH if you want to follow that. Hexforce 1 has landed. Hello, Superman. Hexkin's getting huge BBC yield. Nice. Very good. Yeah, it's pretty. We're going to look at it all, folks. We're coming up. 9-inch is the next one we're going to talk about. Thanks, Superman. Pudding Guru says you're welcome. Let me jump that. We've got Bob Fish King in the house with the emoji king, as I call him as well. Not this, the Fish King. Let's see here. Else is there. Let's jump through some of that. Gonna go scroll through all those comments. We've got Pineapple Love in there. Hey, good to see Pineapple Love. Welcome to the chat. King Tech Fu in the house. Very cool. Thomas says single size staking for BBC does auto compounding. It does. Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't check that one, so nice to see that confirmation from Thomas. Thank you so much. My BBC is compounding, says Tail 7. Very cool. BBC is single size staking is staking on steroids, and it sounds like it. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the 20. You're talking about the lock period, right? The lock period. Yeah, I hadn't actually looked at that yet, so we'll get to that. What's up? What's up, Hexagons? Good to see you, Tintop. Welcome to the chat. And I'm all in on BBC, says Pineapple Love. Yeah, you're the man, the master of that. And we got GetHex as well. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you, GetHex. Let's get into it without further ado. let's look at 9-inch and let's bring that up. Bam. All right. So this was the news 3 hours ago. It was a couple hours late, I think. It was supposed to be like 7 o'clock. I think came in like 10 o'clock my time. But it is out. And of course, the harvest season is exceptionally fertile. New yield farms, 9-inch and BBC. So there were farms for the 9-inch and with the BBC there. So that was really bullish. And of course, BBC was being emitted from the first 9-inch farm there. And of course, now that means it's got a place to go. It's got a place to go. BBC's got a place to go. It is the incentive token. 9-inch and E9-inch. So that obviously they had to be bridged in over the Pulsechain, and there is a pool for that. The ratio was crazy when it first came out and spiked there, and we're going to talk about that too. And of course, there was new staking pools as well. So new staking pools, single side staking, the first ones to hit the market, 9-inch staking, single side, and BBC. And of course, there's flexible and of course locked ones there as well. And I didn't really have time to look at the locked one, but that apparently has compounding in it. So kind of cool. All right, that moves up. What else there? Double-sided 9-inch is now available for your pleasure. That came in just at the last thing I saw it. I just saw it just in time. 9-inch and E9-inch. I have actually gone in on that pool. So wish me luck on that one. But that's kind of cool. And that came out as well. What else is happening here? IDM says here, having so much fun on 9-inch, you successfully mix fun with making money. You got a winner. 9-inch going to mess around and prematurely usher in a bull market to the moon. So there we are, some nice little chill stuff there as well. 1 hour ago, this was given out for free for everybody in the 9-inch sacrifice set, yet no one figured out where the ETH went. Now, is that a Blues Clues? Is that a Blues Clues as well? Because where the ETH go's been pumping the last couple of days, and of course broke out particularly strong this morning. We're going to look at that. But Pulse Dodge and Paul Pleb were sort of Paul Pleb had an uptrend, but both of them relatively compared to where the ETH go were still pretty dormant. But apparently they've broken out. Maybe this tweet helped that out. So kind of cool on that one. So that was pretty neat. We're going to retweet that or repost it. And that's pretty much it from InvestX. So if you want to get, I'll post the link to that in the chat there if you want to follow up on 9-inch on X there, X social platform. That is the updates that I've just read out. So check that out. Bam. That is it there. That's what we just read. So very, very cool. So let's go look at those markets in real time on the platform. So here we are on 9-inch DEX, and we can see that the pools added. What we had Pulse 9-inch, 9-inch DAI, 9-inch USDC, and 9-inch USDT. So we've had that from the beginning there 2 days ago. And then now, of course, we've had these two launch. So 9-inch BBC LP. So remember, when you go into a farm, you have to provide LP for those farms, right? So you have to do that. Now, you can go to the farm here, and you'll see the APR is 8,900%. I do believe that this is not correct. They are correcting this because they've had issues around that. And I'm pretty sure I saw that on the list here that they had some issues. I'm just trying to find where that was. Is it on this one? Maybe it's on this one. Here it is here. So this was 3 hours ago. Note some subgraph issues on the UI. So we're redeploying it. That's why you see no numbers for APR, or if calculations are wrong. Now, I did note that the calculations were wrong. So they were about half of what was indicated in terms of the yield. This will be fixed soon. So I'm not sure if that's actually been updated yet, but it doesn't appear that. So if we did $100, let's do $100 for a day, take quarter compounding off the 17. So yeah, I think it's probably half that at this stage. You can double check yourself, but I think that is probably half that. Let me know in the chat if you have had the same thing there, but that is kind of the play there. Now they probably will update all those as well. So, and also obviously on Pulse 9-inch has not been there as well. Some people said that's intentional, but I don't know if that is. I think it may have just been related to this issue around the subgraph. So so no numbers for APR. That seems to be the problem. And of course, wrong calculations for the ones that do show up. So just take into account. I would say whatever this is probably half. So if you take 1,000, take off that, you've got 17 BBC per day, which is $24, and you might half that. So let's say $12. Let me know if that's your run rate that you're seeing. The other pool, of course, so that's pretty amazing, 9,000%. I can't remember what it started off at. I saw it when it was at 22,000%, came down fairly quickly over like 45 minutes or so, and it's now at 9,000% for the 9-inch BBC. So that's Pulsechain 9-inch BBC on Pulsechain, 2.5 million liquidity there. And then there's the 9-inch and W9-inch. So W9-inch is the Bridgeton E9-inch from Ethereum, and that's currently at 6,850%. So that's been very popular there as well. And of course, if both of these do well, then your value will probably go up as well. So there's $3.2 million in there. So the TVL is really starting to climb there. Now, the other two things, not just the farms, but actually, let's look at the Ethereum farm before we get onto the single-side staking pools. We can compare those two. Actually, they're not on there yet from the looks of it. Let me look, 9-inch. So 9-inch BBC is there. Remember the other farm for the Pulsechain 9-inch and the W9-inch or E9-inch is only on Pulsechain. So they on Ethereum, they only got this one pool, a 9-inch in BBC, which is good news for BBC on the old Ethereum. That's still at 10,400%, so that's pretty good. But obviously, you probably want to halve these numbers, like I say. So if it says 95, it's probably for $100. It's probably 45 a day or something like that. Let's play there. I'm not sure if there's any comments on that. What have we got? Any comments on that? No one's got any comments on that, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, so liquidity in there is 540,000. So you see the difference in liquidity, but I think Ethereum obviously is going to benefit from these new pools and the pools that are coming in another 2 days, and then the pools that are coming after that. This ramp up is just in like every 2 days is like more and more and more, which is a really cool way to launch it actually. And I think the order's been pretty good. Yeah, 540K is the liquidity pool. We'll be watching the old these pools. Now we've also got obviously on 9-inch. We've also got the single-sided staking pools, and this is very important. You always want some single staking for the final mile. Obviously for Pulsex, there'd be one for incentive, but there isn't one yet. That fingers crossed, that's still potentially in the future. But these are the ones that have launched on a Pulsechain. So we've got stake 9-inch and we've got stake BBC. So the incentive token there, stake and earn more. Now on here, we've got 59 billion 9-inch has been staked there. So what's that? 6% of the supply. I think there's a trillion, right? Less the burn. So obviously burning's going pretty well too. So I think it's what that 6% of the supply has now been staked in here, which is fantastic, given the fact it's only been out a couple of hours too. And yeah, you can then stake that. And of course, apparently there's a flexible lock and a locked APR, and it looks like that has auto compounding on it. That's kind of cool. What else there? We've got the stake BBC that has got 494,000 at the moment. I'm not sure what the supply is on that, but we'll go have a look. Let's see how much has been emitted. Remember, it started off at 100,000. Now it is at 999,000. Okay, so when it gets staked, looks like it goes off the market here. But that is where we are. That's 9-inch. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. I'm on the wrong one there. Which one am I going to? BBC. Let's go to BBC. And we've got 2 million BBC in existence at the moment. So we started off at 100,000. Since those first farms were out, we're already up 1.9 million. So that means that wrong one. That means that we've got almost 500,000. So we've got about 25% is now in the pool here. In the pool. About 25% is now in the single-side staking. That's fantastic. That's really cool. If we can keep that up and grow, get to 30%, 40%, that's pretty good. That will help with the price, I guess. So kind of cool. So that is the pools that are up. Let's have a quick look at Ethereum on the Ethereum side. And let's see there. So Ethereum, we've got 34 million. So what's that, about 3%, 3.5% of the total supply of 9-inch is stuck in the single-sided staking pool. And then of course we've got 257,000 BBC stuck in there on that side. Now I don't know what the BBC supply is on there, but that's probably pretty good too. And of course you can have a flexible lock. In other words, you can put it in and take it out. And you can have a locked up to 21x, up to 52 weeks, I think it is, and you can get super and auto compound, so super high APR on that, that's my guess. So hopefully when they fix up the issue around the subgraphs, they'll be able to fix up all the APRs on them. Let's take that into account. What else we want to say about that? Is there something else we want to say about that? Probably not, but those are the new ones. So in summary, let's go to the Pulsechain. Summary, we've got these two new farms, 9-inch BBC, 9-inch wrap 9-inch, and that's bullish for both of these prices probably to lock more of that up in some degree. And of course the BBC there as well is good to have another pair that's got somewhere else for it to go. It can still be bought and sold, of course, but that's good news. And of course on the pools, super bullish, getting a place for the BBC to go. It's getting minted out in the farms. Good place to go last mile, and you earn more BBC there. and a 9-inch to get off the market too. And there's only 1 trillion. Remember, we've got the burn going, we've got people buying it, and we've got now single side staking, so 3 supply sinks on there at least. So that's kind of cool for the 9-inch. And of course, as the more pools come on, more excitement, the value of 9-inch will grow. So if you've got more of it locked off the market and more demand coming in, should see the price appreciate, should see the TVL of 9-inch continue to rise over time. Obviously, there's always sellers, big whales and things like that, but that is the kind of play at the moment. So that is looking good. Let's have a quick look at the burn. The burn now on Pulsechain is 212 million, which is going on pretty nice on the burn. Remember, there's 1 trillion tokens on each chain, so that is looking pretty good. And on Ethereum, let's go look at Ethereum. There's 93 million so far burned on there as well. There's a small BBC burn, but that's pretty much it where it's at the stage. And looking at analytics, let's have a look at that quickly. We've got the volume here. So apparently we had 11.67 million volume on the 27th. Looks like we had 2.3 million on the 28th, 1.3 million on October 29th. Now, presumably this is correct data. And then 1.92 million on the 30th there. So it's tracking away. Liquidity has been rising pretty strongly. Almost $4 million liquidity based on this on the 31st of October. So looking pretty good on the volume. This is probably going to go up quite a lot today. So it's kind of cool. Volume going up there, looking good. Now this data I think is probably going to take a week before we see all these data populated here. That's kind of the play. Looking pretty good. Anything else you want to say? Not too much. But if you want to find out more information, we can go to the docs. So just hit the ellipsis there, go to the docs, and you'll be able to find all the details about everything about 9-inch and what's coming up in particular. And where to find that, first farms and pools, we go there. So what have we had done so far? To wrap up, we've had day 0. We had all the stable LPs get set up, so that's kind of cool. We had a small amount of BBC minted on each chain. It was 100,000. That's now 2 million on the Pulse chain with the farms. Then day 1, of course, we had 9-inch Pulse farm, 9-inch ETH farm. We had E9-inch, the P9-inch farm on Pulse chain. We also had 9-inch farms with the stable coins. And then, of course, day 2, we had pretty much nothing. It was just move on. We have just started day 3. It's been delayed a bit, so the hours aren't perfect days. This got delayed again. It's a little bit later. This is probably about almost 10 hours later than the first day. So it's sort of delayed like 2 days plus 10 or something, 10 hours. But we've just had this happen a couple of hours ago. Single-side staking 9-inch pool will be created. A 9-inch and BBC single-side staking. So we've got that. On top of that, you'll get BBC farms. We've got that. So we may see more of those. Who knows? And then, of course, tomorrow, we're expecting no change. However, tomorrow, maybe 24 hours from now, we may get other farms for non-hexy bastard ecosystems. So that's what that HBS is there. Hexy bastard ecosystems that came up, and they seem to have gone with that. So other farms for non. So let's see what that is. What's it going to be? Surprise? I don't know. Is it going to be TROH? I don't know what it could be. We'll see what that could be. Let me know in the chat there what you think it might be. And then, of course, another day from now. So let's say 2 days, we could get farms and single-side staking for where the ETH go, Paul Pleb and Pulse Dodge. And we're going to look at all those charts because we've been talking about those. Where the ETH go has definitely been pumping. There was an uptrend in PP, and Pulse Dodge was still layman around, not doing much. And yet it was a pretty good one to move. We're going to check that out in a minute. I haven't checked since we started the live stream, so I have no idea what's happened there. Other than it looks like it did start to move just before the live stream. Single-side staking for PulseX on Pulse Chain. That's going to be bullish. You're going to have a place to park your PulseX and get single-side staking. That's going to be popular. Single-side staking for EHEX as well, and DBI, Ethereum, and EHEX, PHEX farm on Pulse Chain. So these are all coming up. These day 4 and day 5 are ahead of us. So kind of cool. And we may have some surprises about these other farms potentially being announced. So it's got maybe. So there we go. So what day are we on today? We're on Tuesday. So we could reasonably expect this on Wednesday or Tuesday US time. This on Thursday in Australasian time, or of course Wednesday US time. That's kind of the rollout there. And who knows what other surprises the team has in store for us as we move forward there. So kind of cool. That's a pretty good overview. So let's move on to the charts. So this is 9-inch Pulse on Pulse Chain. We look like we're at quadruple 0.5 there. We had a nice little rally up to quadruple 0.568. This is on the 4-hourly chart. Let's go to, because the daily looks pretty lame. There's not enough data, but that's the daily at the moment. So not too bad. Let's go back to the 4-hourly. They should go back to the hourly, eh? That's correct. There's a bit more there. So, quite a few hours ago, we got her up to the high here, quadruple 0.57. Since then, of course, we've had the farms launch. We're currently at quadruple 0.5, but I think it's kind of bullish for 9-inch. We'll see how it goes. We'll give that a rocket. 9-inch on Ethereum. This is obviously got sold off there, and probably prematurely. It got down to quadruple 0.11, and of course that has now rallied up here as well to quadruple 0.16. So we've got a 43% gain on a 9-inch on the Ethereum side, and we have a pretty much flat number for Pulsechain side, obviously because it had its rally earlier today, but we'll keep a watch out for that. Now the 9-inch pair on Pulsechain, that's the new farm that got put up. Huge ratio change there. So 1p 9-inch or Pulsechain 9-inch could get you one E9-inch or aka W9-inch on the old Pulsechain, and of course that was 4.4 to 1 ratio. So Pulse was worth way more than the E version or the Ethereum version. But of course, when the farms opened up here on Pulsechain, that pushed the ratio down to 3.24. Now this is the liquidity pool on the Pulsechain. So you can find that contract just by going to the farm, and you can find that there and post that in. But the contract for that is here. So pretty good. That is pretty much it on that. So we're watching this ratio as well. At the moment, it's 3.21, has been below down to 2.7. So definitely that means that basically the gap was closing between the Pulsechain 9-inch token and the Ethereum version. The lower it goes. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's go to look at BBC token. BBC token had a rally as well to $2.21 here. This is the 4-hourly chart. So let's go to the hourly. We had all the way up to $2.30. That was about as much bounce as we could get there. And then the whales came in and smashed us. I saw them. I watched them in real time. They sold this sucker down. And of course, we got all the way down here to about $1.40. We're currently at $1.30 for the BBC here at the moment. And that's despite having the single-sided staking and locking there. So just the way it goes. We'll see how that goes. Now, BBC is going to probably be in more pools, is my guess. And we may see that play out in terms of taking away that supply into other pools and stuff like that, which should be helpful. And more should go into the single-sided staking as well. So that's kind of it on the BBC. Let's go to the meme coins. We got Paul Pleb. Like I say, this thing was kind of delayed, but here we are on the 4-hourly. You can see that we just had a bit of a breakout. Let's go to the hourly, actually. You can see we're kind of humming up here with a little uptrend. Oh, we just got sold down just as I was talking about it. It wasn't my fault, but we got pumped all the way up to 8,400 here and just got sold down to 73 just now during the live stream. But we're actually starting to have a breakout, but that's been muted just as we speak. You guys saw that. It's been pushed back to 77. And watch this, because I think it's going to continue. Like I say, we're talking about another 2 days, 2 days away for these to get their own farms. So that's coming up for that. That's why these are the next things, sort of the rally. Where'd the ETH go? We'll get to that in a minute. Pulse Dodge has really, it already had a rally and been sold off, but really hasn't done much. And this is when we would expect it to do something. So we did get a nice little pump there on the daily. So let's have a look at the hourly there. So yeah, just on the last couple of hours, we got it pumped all the way to 0.057, and it's at 5.4. Now I expected this to pump a lot harder, but we've got, if it doesn't pump in the next 24, 48 hours, like breakout I'm talking about, big time, then sometimes you just don't, it just doesn't happen, even though probability suggests it will. So at the moment we're at 0.054, and it has broken the upside. We'll see where we go over the next 24, 48 hours on this meme coin. So that's Paul Pleb and PLD on the watch list, and so we'll see how it goes. However, the third one, where the ETH go, has the most limited tokenomics, and of course there's only 1 million tokens of this compared to the supply of PLD, which is up in the hundreds of millions, I think. Let's double check that. The cool thing about PLD is that the supply is not many. We've got 574 million. We don't have many holders, 732. However, quite a few of the holders have large amounts, but they don't seem to be selling down particularly. So they're just sitting there, a lot of them. So that's it. And Paul Pleb has the biggest volume. It has a big number, like 1.7 trillion. Yeah, just under 1.7 trillion. They have 7,132 addresses on Paul Pleb. But where the ETH go is actually the most scarce now, it appears. And of course, you got that post from the team saying, where did the ETH go? No one's worked it out yet. So a bit of a tease there. And that's up 68% on the 24 hours, looking pretty good. And of course, there's not many tokens, right? This is looks like the most scarce one there is. 1 million WHETH. 4,659 addresses. So yeah, looking pretty interesting. Where will it go? Well, we're at the $1.78 at the moment. It's broken out like I suggested. And of course, here we go here at, we've got as high as a $2, and it's pretty cool. So pretty good on the old where the ETH go. Now let's have a look at the metrics on this. Let's go to the 4 hourly and pull this up. 4 hourly here on the chart. No, that's the wrong one. Let's go get the RSI. We can see that on the different time zones, on the hourly here, we're overbought, but that's not as important as the longer ones here. 4 hourly, we're in the overbought territory, and of course, getting a bit of selling pressure there. On the daily, however, we only just touched the overbought, and we're just bounced back in here. So this is actually still looking okay. And where did I think? It's certainly looking okay for the sort of $1.80, $2.20 range at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. But of course, if it cools off and we've still got 24 to 48 hours to go, then 48 hours to go, then this thing could continue, as if it eases off on the RSI, continue to go up. And of course, with only 1 million tokens, this potentially could, the market cap could go up, maybe $3-4 million, $5 million, who knows, in crypto. But definitely we may have the potentiality for that. At the moment, we're certainly pretty close in the range of where I feel comfortable at the moment about this. Obviously, we've been praying probability, and it's played out that way. So this has been a good call. And these PLD and Paul Pleb certainly struggling to get there yet, but still for 24 to 48 hours, let's say, we'll be watching those to see whether they do break out as well with those. So that's kind of the play there at the moment. So that's kind of the summary of 9-inch, doing pretty good. Let's see if there's any comments on that. Anything else that I've missed, let me know in the chat. Let's see. We got a few other people here. Pineapple Love here says, I just staked flexible SSS single-sided staking for BBC 2 hours after calculation, approximately 2% per daily rate. Right now, not bad. Yeah. So with this single-sided staking, I understand they're going to get like 10% of the value of what farms get in terms of the BBC emission. But you can maximize that by going longer, locking in, and things like that. So, but on a flexible 2% is pretty good. Rev 10, long time, and hello everyone. 9-inch has awakened my taste buds. Let's go. Woo, says Rev 10. Nice one. Rev 10, welcome to the chat too. About a 0.008% per hour rate on single-sided BBC staking flexible right now. Cool. Good analysis there. Below. Property review in the house there. Great. Good to see a property review. Big shout out to you. I see that you're growing pretty strong on your channel, covering property. Awesome stuff. Keep up the great work. Passive income says this is bullish. Absolutely is. Pulse Bezos says everything's happening on Pulsechain. It is indeed. We're going to talk about that soon. What else there? Pineapple says, plus I did not mention auto compounding. Yes. On top of that. Let's see. I'm going to jump through some of those comments. Ivor in the house there. Yo. Good to see you, Ivor. Oops, correction says there 0008. Nice per hour. Farmers are people too, says Stephen. They are indeed, especially on 9-inch apparently, and of course at PulseX. Brendan says cup and handle played out on where the ETH go. That is true. I was going to mention that, but hey, there we are. There's the cup and handle. There's the cup and the handle, and playing out there pretty well. So nice one on that one. All right, very cool. Kung Fu says Pulsechain where true DeFi happens. It is indeed. It is the leader. All right, let's get into. I want to move on. We're going to move on for 9-inch quick briefly. We're going to get into Titan. Titan X here. Now, Titan X launched on Ethereum. Of course, this is Jake Sharp's project, and it had a hyper rally yesterday. Look at this thing, man, oh man, oh man. It got pretty amazing. Got up to a high of quadruple 0.73. Now, this launch probably impacted the Zen trading. It probably impacted Pulsechain to some degree yesterday. And yeah, it's over the last 2 days, I guess. It's been out for a couple of days now. But let me just check how many hours that is since it's been out. It's 2 days and 16 hours it's been out. So yeah, last couple of days definitely impacted. I would suggest Zen and Pulsechain. There's a lot of crossover, in community and things. And so yeah, it's currently pretty much sold off down here. This is where it really broke down here, and it was pretty aggressive breaking down here. When it broke down pretty much from quadruple 0.3 and is now added to 0, and it's now down at 50771 EM. So that's pretty interesting. It is over here on the hourly, down towards the oversold We'll see how that goes on 4 hourly there. You're not enough data yet, but that's pretty much it on that chart. So pretty thing. Now you got to remember this project is to benefit long-term stakers and miners. So we'll see how that goes. Early days, there's a massive buy and burn amount over $8 million now that's going to continue to climb. It's like a big war chest, and that's going to be used to buy up as well. So it's going to be interesting to watch that project. All right, that was a side mention there. Let's quickly get into some of the burns. We got GDZ burn, of course, launched the other day on Pulsechain. Has done very well on Pulsechain compared to other chains it's been on. I think it's been on one other chains, and on Pulsechain it has done very well, I think, as relative to those chains. GDZN has burned over 2% of the circulating supply of PZN in less than a day on Pulsechain. So Pulsechain is, like I say, I think Ethereum and Pulsechain are going to be the two best chains for Zen, and I think that's really, really cool. Now, I think Zen has certain fundamentals that would be different from Titan X, for example, and I think that's enough to differentiate it over time. So I'll probably get into more on that in another live stream. Currently, there are about 1 hour left until the end of the first round. Of course, that is finished, so good results on that. So nice there on GDZN. They also said back here 13 hours ago, you can now burn PZN, Jack, P Phoenix, and DXN, and as X Pepe on Pulsechain. Now, obviously, some of these like Phoenix and that didn't perform too well. So that's what it's about, getting rid of the project coins that didn't perform too well and getting into a new project, and hopefully that does well. That's kind of the idea. Now, 10 hours ago, first round finished. Nearly 1 trillion PZN has been burned. That's spectacular. Normally, we saw that with DVZN Crypto when it launched, which is the most successful protocol on the Zen ecosystem on other chains. And of course, now we've got DGZN doing 1 trillion. That's a pretty good number there. So congratulations to GDZN on that one. The other thing, cool, all smart contracts are now open source as well. So that's great, that transparency, XEC, GDZN, and stuff like that. So looking really, really good on those ones there. So not bad at all. All right, I might talk more about GDZN maybe tomorrow. So that is good news around GDZN. If you want to check that out on Pulsechain, that is, you can give them a follow. GDZN there if you're participating in that part of the ecosystem. Check it out. So that is there right now. All right, we got a couple other comments in the chat, have we? Just joining, did 9-inch single size staking begin? Yes, Jim, it has. Pulsechain is about to be popping with Fetch launches. When Fetch launches, yes, that's coming up. We're going to talk about that. Glad I avoided that one, says Ramon. It didn't take long for Jake to dump on this community. Yeah, it's hard to say, but I think it's just the fact that it got pumped up so much and then they sold it down. That's pretty much it. The whole project's designed to benefit long-term stakers, not short-term speculators. So that's the idea there. I'm going to go through that probably another thing just to show the differences there. Just like Ben, says Tortoise Johnny. Thank you, Hex Token, for the awesome stream. As always, good night, everybody. Good night, Sandy Beach, and thanks for dropping in, as always. All right, let's move on from GDZN. So really, really great results for GDZN. Congratulations to them. Now, we've got some terrific burns happening with some of our top protocols. Beetroot, they have been really cool. They obviously launched this new upgraded product, the One Swap aggregator from Beetroot. If you haven't used that, it's a really good thing to use. All in one name, one swap, and you're done, no matter how many chains or bridges involved. So they've really simplified that. I really definitely checked it out as one of the utilities that you may want to use for swapping. But of course, the big thing I want to talk about was that the fact that they have burned over 2 billion Beat tokens now has been burned. That's 22% of the Beat supply gone forever. So that's getting that deflation down really strong and really impressive there. The other thing I want to talk about is we had something update today. Jump through that. So here was the burn. So sixth Beat buyback and burn event occurred following the biggest ever. Let me just get rid of that comment there. Then I got Sandy Beaches. Following the biggest ever earlier this month on the 8th of October, we have another in the same month. So 2 burns in the same month there. 30th of October buy and burn. 41 million pulse for 23 million Beat has been burned. So really, really good there. 2 billion Beat has been burned in total. Current total supply is just under 7 billion Beat. And that's pretty cool. 52 million Beat bought and burned this month alone, on top of the ongoing reflections back to the black hole. over 50% more than all the previous 4 buybacks and burns together. So fantastic results there. If you're involved in that or whatever, check it out. I know Randy Lasky likes Beat as well, and they're really offering fantastic utility, privacy hub, swapping, lots of stuff, and they're really undervalued in my opinion. But I haven't checked the chart recently, but I'm sure that will do well as in the future. I don't know what I did there, but is that the right tweet? I think it is. No, that looks terrible. I don't know what happened there. Oh no, it's come through. Okay, so I think that's the right link there, the Beetroot. So those are the highlights today. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. On that one, let me just jump away from that, and we're going to quickly check the markets. How we're doing for time an hour. We're going to quickly check the markets. Let's go to the Pulsechain. We're going to go through the other market categories. Let's go through the top PRC ESC 20s. We're going to sort by liquidity, and DAI has managed to do a bit of a comeback here. So DAI is bounced off 00045, is now at 00058. It's a nice little comeback there for try a DAI, a Tropa. Let's have a look what else there. Wrap Bitcoin also managed to have a good day in the office as well, and it is up 26% on the 24-hour basis. So that's pretty good for Wrap Bitcoin. What else is doing well there? A Tropa is up 25% as well. Let's have a look at this chart. Yeah, so that's up a little bit there. Came all the way down, of course, from up here. So still hasn't managed to re-rally yet on the magical contract of a Tropa. Maker is up 6%, 8% at the moment. Teddy Bear is up 10%. Treasury Bill up 12%. The two big meme coins, SHIB and Pepe, SHIB managed to get up 10% at the moment. Let's quick look at that. Now, will these be one of the 2 biggest memes on the 9-inch DEX? Because it is a meme DEX. That is the play. That's the speculation. Obviously, it needs to get 9-inch support as well in terms of power, in terms of incentives, but that is the play there. So we'll put this on your watch list as well, as my guess there for SHIB. The other one, of course, is Pepe, the 2 big branded meme coins, and that's at the bottom at the moment of this whole line here. So let's see if that can, if 9-inch DEX supports that and it does get rallied back up. We'll see. That's kind of the plays there. Link has managed to get up 18%, so that's not bad for Link. Link's doing pretty well there. Nice little pump there for Link on the old Pulsechain. So look at that. That's the chart there for Link. So nice little pump there on the history of Pulsechain. There, what else there? Pulse Bitcoin up 22%. What else there? Plutos up 28%. We haven't looked at Plutos for a while. Let's have a quick look at that. I was down pretty badly, yeah. So up there, but it's down pretty strongly there. Aave copy is up as well, up 16%. That's the Aave one there. A little bit of an uptrend there, I guess you could argue. Kind of in the midpoint at the moment on Aave. Those are some of the ones. There's so many on here that could do some stuff there. BitTorrent as well has been a bit of a sleeper. Matic is up 15%. Let's have a quick look at BitTorrent. This one here is kind of a sleeper here off the bottom. If you take off the bottom there, yeah, not too bad gains sitting in there. If you look at it like that, we'll see where BitTorrent goes. That's kind of it for the PRC 20s. Let's have a look at the meme coins. We covered a lot of these meme coins, but let's have a look by liquidity. See if anything else there. Mega is down 5%. Axis Alive is down 10%. Hex Address is up 7% there. Reflux is down 2%. I think Ray Richards covered that the other day. Reflux, if you want to check out his video on his channel. Yeah, most of the action happening in the 9-inch tokens there. More token from Trayvon is up 15%. Bitboy Ben, or now Ben Armstrong, right, is up 5% there. What else there? I think that's kind of it on those. All right. That brings us to the final category of Pulsechain projects. Actually, we've got another category, but we'll go have a look at this. We've got 9-inch. Let's jump. Algo up 14% there. Spark Swap is down 8%. Let's see here. TRH is flat. Looking at some of these. This is by liquidity, of course. Patias is up 10%. Patias is another one to keep on your watch list for good value. Time Token is up 12% there. Pulse Reflections up 9%. That's kind of it there. Let's scroll down a bit further. Communist is up 47%. Communist has had a pretty good couple of days over the last week or two. Very small pools, but certainly getting some nice percentage gains out of those. Trust Swap Token up 16%. So that's kind of a wrap up of the Pulsechain projects. Let's quickly look at the Zen ecosystem for Pulsechain. and we're going to have a look by PZen, which has got 15K liquidity in it at the moment. Let's see how that's done. This is the hourly chart. So let's have a look at the daily. So yeah, we had that big rally, if you remember, all the way up, lost a zero for a moment, and then couldn't break it, just could not break it, despite all the burning that was going on, and it was fantastic. We could not break it. We've come all the way back down to 80s, 2,800, but been pushed up here, probably with the help of GDZen as well as DBZen crypto burning PZen, and we're back up at 80s, 4,000. Little comeback there, and we do have a higher low here. We'll see where that heads. Let's have a quick look at the supply of PZen. And yeah, so we've gone below 40 trillion. That GDZen definitely helped with that. So big shout out to DBZen. Wow. Remember, before DBZen crypto launch, we had 55 trillion. And since that time, we've had DBZen crypto launch, DBZen NFTs, which doesn't burn PZen, and then of course DBZen, which does burn PZen, and of course now we're down probably a trillion there, which is fantastic work. 39.4. But remember, we've got about probably we don't know the roadmap of what's coming out because we don't have a clear picture of that, but maybe a trillion a day or something is a guess. So yeah, it may slow down. I don't know. So it's kind of the play there. Let's go have a quick look on ZenPub and quickly look at this before we get to the Hex daily payouts, which is our final topic of the day. Like a boss, man, we covered so much stuff. It is amazing, so much stuff to be covered, and I think we're doing okay job. We'll give us a pass mark. How about that? Let's go to DBZen NFTs. Look at Pulsechain. Actually, that's the wrong one. Wrong one there. There's so many dashboards here. Let me go away. There's some free money for Sun Tzu there. That's not Sun Tzu. I forgot the guy who does the site. That's DBZen ecosystem. That one there, Pulsechain. Now, if you're wondering what this Zen.pub is, the Zen ecosystem maps, there's so many products on. Remember, it's on like 13 chains, so that's why there's so many tables of data. You got to keep up with it. But at the moment, yeah, 26.5 trillion has been burned in PZen today so far. 400 billion has gone through, which is pretty good actually. It is. You do expect it to slow down, maybe have a tick up later on. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We've got 12 hours to go. It's on day 8 days since DBZen launched on Pulsechain, which is pretty cool. Now DXN here on the, let's have a look at the hourly there, is currently $1.28 on a DXN that you can, a PDXN I should say, on Pulsechain. That's the burn protocol there. I don't know if that's correct actually, but that is it on that one. So kind of cool. All right, that's pretty much it. We're going to get Hex.com. Hex.com, folks, check it out. Get your Hex, start your CD miner, and start mining Hex. Not financial advice, of course, but if you need any help, get into our Discord. We've got a bunch of great people there. Links in the video description. We're going to get into the results for day 1428, the 30th of October. We've got one more day to go for the end of the month. And, of course, the price there at 9/10 of a penny. Fantastic. Woo-hoo-hoo! So that's good news there, up 10%. And, of course, the payout is spectacular too, 7.233 Hex per T-share, looking really good. Share rate's gone up 70. As you guys know, the share rate's going to creep up a lot over the next month, the next 3 weeks, actually, where the share rate's going to climb, especially on the 22nd of November. It's going to climb by 1,400 Hex per T-share. So get those T-shares now while you can. 30,179 is the share rate. The average mining length is 7.06 years. The APY today is a very, very handsome 42.3% APY. The ownership pool is down 5,000 T-shares. We're sitting at 9,757,000 T-shares at the moment. That is the play. And what else we got going there? Lock percentage of coins, 9.35% of Hex is locked at the moment. We got 11.4 million in penalties today, so a big day for penalties on Ethereum there. Look at some of these that we've had: 53 million back here, 58 million back here over the last 10 days. But today, of course, that adds the 70.5 million in the pool. Looking at the growth numbers, we're up 71 liquid holders on Ethereum. We're down 9 miners on the Ethereum side. So that miner, we've had a couple of breaks in the mining trend, but still is sort of going down at the stage. But we have had a couple of recent breaks, which is a little bit different what we were having. We're at 190,856 T-share miners at the moment on the old Ethereum. Looking at Pulsechain, day 171, 30th of October, we've got the price at 1.4 cents, up 14%, like a boss. So looking really good. Combined price, of course, 2.3 cents. The payout per T-share looking spectacular too, 7.429 on the Pulse chain, and the share rate there at 14.6 to 30,177. The average mine length 6.86 years, so shorter than Ethereum side. The APY pretty similar, 42.13%, and of course that's for existing T-share miners. The share rate there down, T-shares down 9,800 on the ownership pool. We're sitting at 9,827,000 on the old Pulse chain. Let's have a look at the lock percentage of coins. 9.71% of Hex is locked on the old Pulse chain. We've got a massive penalty, even bigger than Ethereum, 16.3 million. Same player, right? Same player. And of course, I haven't checked the bot alerts, but it's probably got the account there. 73 million in the reward pool. Thank you very much. So when these whales do exit early and get penalties, you guys get paid pretty much if you're mining, right? So it can influence the price, but we've got a nice uptrend chart in Hex at the moment. But of course you get the rewards, so that's kind of cool. Up 14 liquid holders, down 65 miners at the moment. Interesting that we've had some decreases in the miners there. There's probably reasons for some of these larger numbers at the moment. We've got 124,543 miners at the moment, so that's kind of the play there. Yeah, that's where we are. All right, these miner numbers pretty much, they do correlate to the penalties pretty well. Maybe someone with multiple accounts. All right, that's the results. We're starting day 1429 on Ethereum and day 172 on Pulsechain. Hex.com, check it out. There we go. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's have a quick look at the Pulsechain. We've got a couple of minutes left. Let's go back to Pulsechain, and let's bring up Pulsechain chart. And that's pretty much it on that one. Let's full screen that and go to hourly. Actually, let's go up to, I was going to talk about the projects, so let's get rid of that and pull that down. This is the roadmap at the moment. So 9-inch still rolling out, the launch phase still rolling out. Titan X is done, so I'll delete Titan X off the link there. We're going to delete that. GDZN is launched, we're going to delete that. That is off. 9MM, we're still waiting for that, so I haven't seen any update for that, so that's coming close. Sugar Beet, potentially 4th of November. So Sugar Beet from Beetroot. We just covered Beetroot quickly, but they've got their single-side staking for Sugar Beet, and it's going to have some secret sauce in there, and you don't want to miss the Sugar Beet, especially if you're holding Richard Hart tokens, okay? So keep that up. That's coming up ahead of us. Then, of course, we get into the major event, Fetch Oracle, unleashing the biggest protocols to come. And, of course, we've already got PH Universe doing amazing. And of course, we've got this 9-inch, which has been a big project and launching out there. But these ecosystems are coming. Liquid Lines ecosystem, Power City, Pulsebot potentially. Question mark over the time zone, but that's kind of when we're expecting it at this stage. The Note project there on 9-inch from Randy Alaski, and many more projects that are not on this roadmap are coming. But these are the heavyweights that are coming soon. So looking good for November. May the bull market start ramping up because we're ready to go. That's all I'm going to say. Ready to rumble. All right, so that's kind of the play there. Let's get into the final comments, because what a day it has been. So much stuff happening. Let's see who else has jumped in here. I think we got up to there, didn't we? Yeah. We got jump back up here. We got Crypto Compassion House there. Good to see you, Crypto Compassion. It's been a little while. Good to see you in the chat. Crypto Truth says, everybody bossing. God bless you all. You too, Crypto Truth. Scotty says, hey, Brodsky, just joined. Did you mention the Pulse petition yet? Very important. Everyone signs it, in my opinion. Let's beat the SEC. I have reposted that on the X social platform, but that's kind of the weird that's been at the stage. I might post it in the Discord later today so people can get in there. It's the last day, apparently, to go and do that. Yeah, last day today. Submit your substantive response. Richard Hart's been posting that out for those who are not in the know. I'm about to dump some weird ETH goes, says Christian. Thanks for telling us, bro. Thanks for telling us. Enjoy those profits, Christian. Enjoy those profits. Join the Discord here, says Brian. Absolutely. Join our Discord. It's the best place to be. 16 cents a day, and of course, more value than a McDonald's burger. All right. Brian says, like it up, folks. Absolutely. Single side staking, a baby. Yeah, it's been pretty good, and more to come, right? More to come. Like a boss, says Christian. Yes, indeed, you are like a boss, the crypto profit man. With Hex, I feel like Bill Gates. I make yield even when I'm asleep. Yes, Hex is like that. Sit back and relax. All right, you dump on Wookie's head. Yeah, well, you can't dump on Wookie's head, Christian. Yeah. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's play out some cool music on the way out. Actually, let's play the Heist of Stakes trailer. How about that? We haven't played that for a while. All right, peace out. I'll see you in Discord after the live stream. Take care and enjoy yourself. Stay fit and healthy. Enjoy crypto. With exciting times. We've got everything lining up. The stars are aligned. It's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, have fun out there. That's all I can say. Bye for now.
Is Richard Hart. Genius.
Legendary.
Arrogant, bit of a narcissist.
The benevolent king.
$250,000. Hate me. I'm farther than you'll ever be in your whole life. Whatever the governments have been doing, it's not worked out. You've never had worse interest rates. Your money has never been worth less. And the only thing that's making it better is cryptocurrency.
Crypto is money without governments, and it is money without banks.
You're not going to meet another product like this as long as you live. Yes, every scammer in the world is going to tell you something similar.
Good morning, everyone. Are you ready to look for some fraud this morning?
They are promising 40% annual return.
Everything I have worked for is staked in Hex.
Good.
I put it all in.
All what?
All of our house money.
No, I don't think that it's a scam. Because I trust Richard Hart.
If ultimately this is all a big performance art project, people are gonna get fucked.
So that means I should trust you.
Listen, I think you should trust me, but if you get into the habit of trusting people like me, you'll get the crap scammed out of you.